Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast. It's your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger, here with you for the last episode of 2020. Hallelujah, right? I don't care if this was a year that absolutely killed you or if this was a year where you killed it. I think we're all ready for a new year. Just so you know, I'm recording this just before Thanksgiving. So anything that has happened between Thanksgiving and now, well, I'm not going to be addressing it. But what I do want to do is get ready for the new year and help you get ready for this new year coming our way. Because I know how much hope and anticipation we had for the 2020s and getting clear vision, and holy shit, did things get cloudy or what? So first thing I want to start with in getting ready for this new year is take a look at what did you actually accomplish in 2020? What were your sales? What was your team growth? What was your team sales? Because in order to begin building your vision for next year, you've got to know your starting point, knowing what you were able to accomplish this year, given the givens, what happened. And now we're going to get into how do we begin to plan for next year? It all starts, and I know this sounds woo-woo to some of you, with a vision board. So, a vision board is something that actually allows you to begin to gain clarity around what it is that you want. And I mean in all aspects of life, not just your business. I have 2 vision boards running at all times. One that covers my whole life, including my business, and one that is a vision board for just my business. So I can begin then taking a look at what it is that I specifically want and what I'm looking to do, and then taking those visions and turning those dreams into goals. I'm able to guide my life moving forward, and you can do that too with a vision board. You can utilize it to create an action plan and do some very intelligent decision making. Yes, you can actually use a vision board to help you make decisions. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. Your vision board also helps you track your achievements, because as you cross them off, you're able to see it's not just a vision board, it's also your tracking to see what did you get done. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts of vision board creation. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing one with you right now, but I am offering vision board workshops via Zoom, I'm sure. So go check the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Facebook page for some of those events where I'll be doing these workshops live with people. So some of the do's. So here's what I want you to do with your vision board. Do picture what you do want. Picture what you do want. Use positive language. So I'll get into what not to say with the don'ts, but using positive language means large retirement nest egg or 2 comma retirement nest egg. It could be something along the lines of traveling, which right now would be a really positive thing because many of us are missing traveling quite a bit, I'm assuming, right? Use positive language. Show yourself what you want to do. Make sure you use as much or as little space as you want. Some of us are overwhelmed by some of the vision boards that basically look like a major collage and there's no white space at all. My vision board tends to have some white space because I want to leave room to insert things, and I do, but that's just my own personal choice, what I like to do. So I don't use all my space in my vision board that I create in December and January. I leave some white space. I make sure to keep my vision board visible. It is always out. I do not hide it away. I do not put it away in some closet or somewhere. It is out and it's visible for me to be able to refer to on a regular basis. And my brain is always looking at it, even when I'm not necessarily looking at it. If I happen to be looking at that direction going, it sees those things and goes, oh, we're not there yet. We need to keep working on that. That helps us keep those goals and those visions in mind. I do review it monthly, and I set a reminder to take a look at it and see how am I doing on these visions. I use my vision board, and you should too, to create your action plan for goal achievement. And finally, use your vision board to help make tough decisions. So when you've been asked by the PTO president to bring 12 casseroles for the parent-teacher conferences, you can use your vision board to say, well, volunteering is part of my vision for what I'd like to do, but not at the expense of all of my other visions. So instead of bringing 12 casseroles, how about I bring one? And I'm being a little facetious here, but you know what I mean, right? When someone asks you to do something that seems completely incredibly outside of your zone of competence or ability to be able to fulfill, utilize your vision board to make a decision. And then you don't have to feel guilty because something doesn't fulfill your vision. If volunteering is not part of your life, then you can just be like, look, this isn't part of my life. Let me introduce you to someone else who does want to volunteer. Or let me free up your time to go find someone else who does want to volunteer at that level. The do's and don'ts, the don'ts of vision board creation. So do not picture things that you want to avoid. Do not put those great big circles with the line through them of something that you don't want. Don't put that on there. Do not put that on there. Only put things on your vision board that you want to see happen. You don't want to use negative language or verbiage. So, for example, the two most common negative verbiages that I hear, vocabulary that I see on vision boards when I do these workshops in person, is something around the lines of, I want to be debt free. Unless you consider debt to be a positive thing, don't put the word debt on your vision board. Instead, use something along the lines of, I want to be financially free. I want to make an extra $10,000. Okay. And you can decide what you're going to do with that extra $10,000, which might be used to pay off those credit cards or that student loan debt or whatever, right? The other common word that I see on vision boards is, I want to lose 50 pounds. Wrong, right? What your brain sees is 50 pounds because the brain can't process in the negative. And so guess what's probably going to happen if you put lose 50 pounds on your vision board? You're probably going to gain weight. So put the weight that you want to be or the size that you want to be. Okay. Third thing, don't feel that you should put something on your board. Okay. Just because other people might be putting it on their board. All right. So if travel is not your thing, you don't have to put travel. Put something else, right? So if travel isn't your thing, or if making $1 million is not your thing, you'd rather just add an extra $700 a month to your income with your business, then that's what you put on there. You say, I want to make an extra $700 a month. Okay. Make sure that you do not hide that vision board or put it somewhere where it's not visible to you every single day. Don't wait to review your vision board annually. And don't assume that just by creating it makes your dreams come true. That's why so many people think vision boards are a bunch of woo-woo bullshit, because they think that what other people are doing, and this is probably true in some cases, that people are just creating vision boards and then just magically shit happens. I can tell you that is absolutely 100% not necessarily true. Now, it may be for those of you who are into the law of attraction that by putting it out there, you are now more open to receiving and understanding when those things are coming your way. Abso-fucking-lutely, right? But don't just assume that you can just make this vision board and then all of a sudden $1 million business shows up in your lap. There's planning and vision and work that goes into that. And if you don't utilize the vision board, it's a lot harder for any of those things to come true. And don't treat your vision board with disrespect. What you care for blooms. So take care of it. Put a pretty frame around it of some sort. Hang it up in a valued place in your home or home office where you can see it and everyone else can see it when they come in, right? Take care of it. Treat it with respect. Now, using your vision board to create an action plan. So once you've created your vision board, what you're going to do is you're going to pick one item from that vision board. So it might be you're going to have 6 parties a month or do a twice weekly yoga practice, maybe travel to Hawaii, something, right? And start by knowing what your current achievement in that area is. So remember how at the very beginning of this episode, I said, know your baseline. Go find out what you did this year, because whatever you accomplish this year is the baseline for what you can accomplish next year. Because if you did it in 2020, by golly, you can definitely do it any other year. Because man, this year was, it was a different year. Let's put it that way, right? So know what your current achievement is. So if you're currently, for example, doing 3 parties in a month, moving up to 6 parties in a month or 6 events in a month, you're going to double your output, right? Now, what will it take to reach that? Well, like I just mentioned, it could be double or triple the number of parties that you book from your current ones. What else are you going to do? Do some networking to meet new women, do some additional build your business over coffee or build your business over Zoom connections. And then write down what action steps are you willing to commit to make that happen? So are you willing to offer more rewards when you book 3 parties or more from a party that you're currently at? Are you willing to commit to maybe an extra networking event per week? Maybe you're willing to commit to meeting 5 to 8 women over coffee, or 5 to 8 people. It doesn't have to be women, because you can sell to anyone, but let's be honest, we know a vast majority of our customers are probably female, depending on your business. But what action steps are you willing to commit to make that happen? And finally, how will you hold yourself accountable? What rewards will you give yourself for achieving that goal every month? What consequences will there be when you don't achieve it? And who will you get involved in holding you accountable? And how will they hold you accountable? You guys have heard me talk, if you've been a listener for any amount of time, about the different kinds of accountability, proactive accountability versus reactive accountability. Which one are you going to implement? Now, part of this is also understanding how which up till now, I've been your podcast host. Some of my listeners I know are already coaching clients of mine. Some of you, most of you, I know just based on the number of downloads and subscribers that I have, I've never met. And I would love to change that in 2021. So we have a couple of different ways to make that happen for you, to help you bring this vision board and this new opportunity that you have in the coming year, is to have a conversation with me. I've recently had not one, but actually 2 of you listeners reach out to me to schedule your complimentary coaching sessions. And I'd like to offer that to all of you. If you are interested in having 30 minutes with me in order to have a conversation around your goals for 2021 and your action steps and what your plan is for achieving that this year, I would love it if you reached out to me. I'm putting the link for my scheduling into the show notes. It's a Calendly link. So calendly.com/Jenny Bellinger/complimentary30. And that 30 is the number 30. But you'll see, I just want to let you know so you know which link to go in there and select. So that's one opportunity for you. The second opportunity is I have a big announcement for everybody. If you've listened this far, get really excited because now you not only are going to have access to the podcast, but I'm also going to be debuting a brand new online Badass Direct Sales Mastery online university. This online university is going to include instructors from various expertise fields, including social media, branding, organization, and of course, there will be online classes from me. So you'll be learning how to get more sales, growing your team with more active team members. And well, one of the fun titles I came up with, but haven't planned out yet, but I've got a month to do it, is how to succeed in direct sales with a shit ton of trying. Because we all know none of what we do is hard, but doing it every single day and putting that business on shampoo, rinse, repeat over and over again can be boring. But I know that between the podcast and the complimentary coaching session and you creating a vision board and then you getting to go and participate in this online university is going to make a positive difference in your business this coming year. And frankly, if you're listening to this and it's 2021 or 2022 or 2023, because this podcast is never going anywhere, reach out to me. These things will still be there because I am here to provide ongoing support for you as my community. At this point, I want to wish you all the absolute best in the upcoming year because I know that this is going to be a year that is going to help you move forward in your business and take it even further than you may have in 2020. Thank you so much. And well, you know how this goes. Stay tuned because there's another badass episode on the way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.